Yeah, you're good.
John? Okay. Putting a metal roof on my house in Titusville, Florida. These panels we got here are from JM Metals out of Cocoa, Florida. There is standing seam 1.75 snap lock. What I'm going to show you today is how to do a termination at the end of the drip eaves. And I like to have it where the female side is closed off with a piece of metal. Been doing a lot of these. I have 173 panels total on this project, 44 squares, and this is probably about my 60th bend, so I kind of figured out the most efficient way to do this. Okay, so here's our panel. Got it positioned properly, made sure that the end that I'm going to hem is truly the end I want. I've only made one mistake out of 60 some panels, and luckily it was a short one. But if you have your long panels and you hem it wrong, of course you lose an inch up at the ridge vent, which you could probably make up, but do that too many times and you're going to be hurting because your long panels, you usually don't want to order any more of those than you need. Okay, so the way I found is I saw a guy on the internet on YouTube made a little template which I found is very useful. It's a 1" by 1" triangle piece of scrap metal, so I got measured in 1" and 1" on either side, so I just take that. I'm going to hem, of course, the standard 1". Now my eaves are a little crooked, so what I've been finding that's working real good here is just doing a little bit more than an inch, about 1/8 more than an inch on my female side. So I got my 1" marker, and then what I do is make about a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch more. It's nice thing about these panels is they can accept a little bit of slop. The clips and everything, at first I didn't know that these panels, I thought everything was going to fit real tight, but it's great because the way they're engineered is with the clips and everything that you can have a little bit of play here and there. So make a mark, and then this had the male side had a 1" mark, and then I found on the outside exterior I just make a 1" mark too. Now this will give me an angle, so this gives me a mark that I want to go to when I cut my angle. Now the angle is because of the rake of the roof, or the pitch of the roof. So I just make myself, actually I found a kind of a radical angle is better. I was cutting them a little too short, and then you get some interference with the female end. So I got that marked. I use a piece of scrap metal. I had my fascia. I replaced my fascia metal stiffer, and this is 24 gauge Galvalume, unpainted. So if you had painted, you probably wouldn't want to use metal on it or whatever. So now I just draw my line because this is going to give me a good visual indicator where I want the bend to occur. Now I'm also going to mark just a little tick mark on the outside of here, and that's going to get me started on my bend. So now I know I'm like a little bit more than an inch on here, so I snapped a little piece here. I found that these angle, I guess these are Wrights, reds, with the little angle nose is just really sweet. I was using straight ones for a number of them, the straight blue. I don't know if I got them here. They're on the other table, but I used it so many times I think they were getting dull. And actually these little angle heads get you a little bit more. So I make my first cut and I don't worry about cutting up here. For a while there I was trying to cut around and it was really hard, and I was deforming it and trying to get this top piece. But this is why I'm showing you the most efficient way, is that you're not really going to have to worry about that. And then I'm going to make a cut here, a little bit of an angle in, because when you fold your bend, it might interfere when it goes underneath, so you do a little angle here, and I'm doing the same kind of angle on the other side to the line. You're moving the camera a little fast.
Yeah, mention to the line.
Yeah, to the line's important. So now I bend this tab up out of the way, and then I'm going to cut on this other side of the bend. Now this is what I'm going to retain to do my fold over. And the nice thing here is when I cut up to the previous cut now, see, I can wiggle this and snap that off. And you don't have to try to fit your head of your cutter in there or anything. That's a big labor saver there. Then I come down here a little bit of an angle. The reason I'm angled here is when I make my bend over, this angle is going to made up with the female side real nice and look real pretty. And I've kind of learned to judge this thing. You'll get a feel for it. I wouldn't cut it too big in the beginning till you get a real feel for what kind of angle you want on it. And I take my hammer, my small hammer, nice heavyweight hammer. It's not good in the tool belt because it's heavy when I bought this, but it's good on the bench, I found. And plus for hemming the drip, the eave, it goes good. So now I've got this over, and I probably have done so many I could have do this without lining it, but I like to line it. It makes it nice clean. So I line it, bend it back out. Now I've got these little short ones give me a lot of leverage, and I got these from Home Depot. Real glad I did. I bought a bunch of tools prior to the job, and I'm going to probably do another post that's going to talk about what tools were really needed and what tools were I really didn't need. You know, one of the ones I bought that I spent about $35 on, or probably about $50 on, was a roller, a 4-inch roller to roll out my underlayment, my peel and stick. And didn't really need that, that's for sure. Okay, so pin that over, looks real nice. Now I'm going to come over here and cut my angle. Now with these tools, you're going to want to get the right angle when you're cutting, and it's going to make it cut like butter, because you're cutting through two pieces of 24 gauge till you get down to the bottom. Okay, there you go. That was the last of the 2 pieces. And then I take and I can wiggle that off. Pretty clean cut. Try to move it slow, Al. This is going to get him dizzy. Okay, now another secret that my buddy Al, who's filming, taught me that really has been working tremendously. A lot of my bends were just a little off here and there, and you'd be surprised what 1/8 of an inch will do when you go to bend. So what we found, and it's really worked good, is you line it up on the plywood, your corner of your table, and that's a little off. It probably could be, but this is a 19-foot panel, so it's kind of hard to maneuver. I'm going to go up to the front and just maneuver a little bit. Move the camera slow out here. Sweeping it fast, you'll see when we're playing. Okay, so now we're lined up on the wood, and the line is lined up with the wood. Now you're going to say, wow, man, that's going to not bend because of the wood. Well, what Al and we discovered is it pulls off the wood as the bend occurs. So here's my 18-inch hammer, because these are 18-inch panels. I have to offset it oftentimes because of the termination of the female side. Would butt up against it and get me off my line, but that's no problem. So you can see we're on the line, the hammer's right on the line, and it's going to pull away and it's going to bend right on that line. Of course, you have to hold the center. That's a big part of it, because that center with the striations is wanting to pull off. Okay, 90-degree bend, right on the line. And I pull it off the wood a little bit, and then I use my mallet on the edge of the metal, which gives you a longer, more moment arm, so that you get a nice bend underneath. The reason I don't use the hammer, oftentimes you'll see in the videos the guy uses the hammer and he goes all the way underneath. I don't like that because it rounds off this edge. It really truly does. It doesn't give you a square edge as the mallet does. So that way you're not making a big round end. And then, so then I feel under. That's good enough for a long panel. I mean, typically if I'm doing the cleats or something like that, I'll make a tighter bend than that. And sometimes I'll go a little tighter. I like to have a little tighter. Of course, you don't want it too tight. If it is, you're going to miss your drip edge when you go to pull it on. You can use a screwdriver, of course, to open it up. Well, that's how you make a nice bend. And if I wasn't talking so much, I'd be able to do that in about 3 minutes. Okay, we can end this portion of the video, and we'll have another one to follow on some other topics.